What is happiness, and why is happiness important to so many people in the world? Well, everybody asks that question all the time. And perhaps I'm doing this speech as a way to rectify my happiness because I have been through some horrible experiences lately. However, the point is that happiness is an emotion that everybody has or is born with, that they can achieve with an altercation of a state, not an altercation, with an alteration of state of mind. And the reason why this is important is because everybody wants to be happy at some point in their lives. And if you don't want to be, if you're one of those guys or gals that go, I don't feel anything, this speech might also be for you. The reason why everybody needs to be happy at one point in their lives or another is because happiness is actually what makes us grow as individuals and make us connect to each other as people. Through happiness, we kind of vicariously live through other people's senses and give our experiences and share our experiences with everybody around us. In order for us to be happy, we must look at 2 or 3 key factors in happiness attainment and itself. So, what is happiness and how do we be happy? Like I said earlier, happiness is really about being in a good mental state of mind that allows people to feel stress-free and relief, and perhaps a bit of catharsis thrown in the mix somewhere. Catharsis being that once you overcome an obstacle or attain a goal, you feel that happy feeling because there has been struggle to attain this happiness. Life is full of these little humps of set goal, get happy, fall down, set another goal, get happy. And whenever we become really, really happy, it's like a milestone. So now that you know what happiness is in kind of a smaller definition, how do you attain happiness? Well, the first thing that I would do is to readily identify all the factors of happiness that you can achieve in your immediate surroundings. Of course, this is broken down in 2 types, long-term happiness and short-term happiness. So I want to look at everything around me that's making me happy in the short term. Because what we can do is, whatever situation that we're in, kind of remove ourselves from the situation for about 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll be happy, or we'll think about stuff that make us happy, and then we can do it to make us happy. So short-term happiness for me is actually watching a very good show, doing well in a game, participating in hobbies that I like, communicating with friends, and really feeling that connection and bond between them. And I, of course. Them and me. Alright. So, there's a little bit of a grammar here and there mishap, but that doesn't stop the message from going through. So, those are my core happiness values, like how I get happy when I am in any state of mind. That being said, what can you do to attain happiness in the short term? Well, if anything ever happens to you, you're sharing your experiences with your friends, sharing your experiences with somebody, doing something in your hobby or everyday life that allows you to vent out that frustration or anger is a way to make you happy. For me, one of those activities is writing. Writing and, of course, making really weird speeches. Writing is one of the things that I like to do to make myself happy because no matter what, I just feel so good when my fingers hit the keyboard or when ink hits the paper. Because right then and there, when ink hits the paper, I'm not only thinking about the story and the thoughts of how whatever goes into writing. I'm thinking about my penmanship and how to make this story look as beautiful as it is in calligraphy. Uh, I know cursive has been have been taught less and less in schools nowadays, but I feel like if one is really able to express themselves in the English language, they need to have some form of art in their whole expression. And people who are really into writing might take up on, finding finer ways to write their story. Cursive now has become a little bit of a disappearance in most of our schools, and I feel like that's a sad thing because we express ourselves in art, emotion, and communication all the time. Whereas cursive might be annoying to learn at first, but it is one of the ways that you communicate yourself to other people. How you write, how the lines flow, show people what your dedication and work is to A, writing, and B, the style of your writing. When we're talking about expression, we're always talking about expressing yourself, your feelings and emotions into something of an art form. If you're able to express it in writing in cursive, then good for you, because you'll be able to see that that type of writing is so magnificent when you get to read it again and be proud of how well your cursive is doing. Like I said before, people who work on their penmanship kind of sit back and admire it from time to time. Even though what they're writing is not always there, they'll be able to show that their artwork is flying through their work and practice. Now that we covered a little bit of short-term happiness, whereas you can say your friends for venting or sharing your experiences or expressing yourself on a piece of paper, how do you achieve long-term happiness? Well, long-term happiness comes from a multitude of ways. One of the most general ways to achieve it is by setting up a goal, kind of a long-term goal, like where would I want to be in 6 months? What do I want to do with my hobby? What do I want to do with my job? And etc. Setting up a long-term goal and taking steps to meet the goal. Now, it is important to do good goal setting. Make sure that that is relatively a goal that is challenging, yet you're able to attain it. For me, I would say I want to get to gold by the end of this month. Now that is a relatively challenging goal because I have to go through 5 divisions, but it is attainable if I win a lot more than I lose. When you feel like you have derailed from the goal, sometimes it is necessary for you to redo it, rehash it, and reset on the steps to take that journey. Long-term goals and happiness really comes from what you want inside in your core values, like taking a step back and really looking at your future. What would make me happy 6 months from now? What makes me happy a year from now? And once you answer those questions, you have to take a look at your life and you're surrounded by now and really analyze if that is possible. For people to truly be happy in the long term, they have to set up goals where it is meetable by a certain amount of time. And if it's not meetable, then they have to work with what they have in their environment. For example, if somebody loves their job but also wants to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, what you want to do is you got to look at your job and say, is my job worth working for in the next 5 years? Because time is wasted and I really cherish or I really crave that connection between me and somebody else. If it is worth the work and time that you put into it, then go ahead and focus on the work. Make work goals. If work is not at your top list of priorities and you are content of where you are now, ask yourself, how long would it be before I become not content at work or annoyed at work or want something more at work? Then use that time and try to set up a goal for your other experiences that you want to develop. So, for example, you want at work, you're going to be good about 6 months. You don't see yourself being promoted in 6 months. You don't see yourself being let go in 6 months. what you do is you take those 6 months, allocate that amount of time that you go to work and perform well at work, and then after that, allocate that amount of time to talk to people and to meet people. In 6 months, it's really hard to get into a relationship, but you can take baby steps. Like, in 6 months, I want to meet at least one or two people that I want to start dating. Because you have that goal in mind, and if you meet those people, you'll be able to achieve that goal and achieve your work goal as well. It's all about balance and sacrifice in the long-term ways of happiness. You want to make enough to sustain yourself and support yourself, and be happy at the same time with your social surroundings. If you can't achieve either of those at the moment, I would say look at your core values. See what makes you tick. If you're somebody who needs friends and interactions to make your world happy, then go out, make those friends, find those interactions, so that your world can have a stable foundation before you do something else. Right now, I feel like not a lot of people look at that and reevaluate their lives enough to the point where they know that's what they want. Some people just plain don't know. So if you are one of those people that just plain don't know, be happy and relish whatever the fact that you can do now. Because time is not on your side forever. If you just don't know what happiness is and how to attain it, I suggest you indulge in your favorite shows, games, cartoons, movies, whatever, and while you're doing that, talk to somebody about it and remember to focus on what you want to do in the future. Because in society, especially here in America today, it is so difficult to make it in any asset of life, like being a sales, being a job, career, friends, whatever. It's important for us to take time and really take a breather in order for us to get our message out and to reaffirm or to think about what we want to do as people. I myself want to be an online entertainer and to bring the world into a better place, whether it be through my entertainment or streaming, or helping somebody out genuinely. So this is my product and my gift to the world and myself, let's just say. And I know that it's not much of a gift because I'm just starting out and I haven't done this for a while. But it is something that I work on nonetheless, and I want to be able to help others as well. So remember, when times get tough, think about being happy. And when thinking about being happy isn't enough, take steps to really attain your happiness. Whether by indulging or goal setting, the choice is yours. Until next time, keep on being positive and awesome. Remember to have a little fun. And I'll see you later.